Donald Trump really is the gift that keeps on giving. If, of course, that gift is never-ending explosive diarrhea. That's right, because crap is hitting the fan within Trump's White House every single day, even every single hour. And now Trump is in extremely hot water as he is facing the wrath of his own supporters. That's right, MAGA is shredding Trump all over this. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now we're gonna get to how MAGA is torching Donald Trump in just a moment, but first, I've seen this in the news and this has made me really personally quite angry. Pete Hegseth is once again facing backlash, this time for hosting a church service in the Pentagon.
To think it relies only on my strength would leave me completely incapable of addressing the issues of the day or those going forward. And knowing that there's an author in heaven overseeing all of this, who's underwritten all of it for us on the cross, gives me the strength to proceed and to look out at this audience and know there are so many others online here at the Defense Department who share that understanding. King Jesus, we come humbly before you, seeking your face, seeking your grace, in humble obedience to your law and to your word. We come as sinners saved only by that grace, seeking your providence in our lives and in our nation.
So not only is Pete Hegseth a complete and total embarrassment for our national security, now he doesn't even respect the separation of church and state. This was a Christian prayer service held during working office hours, and it was broadcast live from the Pentagon network. And to make matters worse, religious services being held in the Pentagon were already ruled unconstitutional in 1978. So Hegseth is a complete clown, which is embarrassing, but other Trump minions are also getting exposed as being total clowns.
What is it about this grant that you and EPA believe is problematic enough to freeze this funding and put potentially 31,000 children at risk?
Senator, who is the grant applicant?
This is to the city of Santa Ana.
You have the biggest, you have the biggest state, so we're going to have to go through every single list of the grant. Well, by the way, with that wind-up, by the way, I understand that you were an aspiring fiction writer. I see why.
Oh, yeah. Well, I understand your view that you can cut half of the agency and it won't affect people's health or their water or their air. That, to me, is a big fiction, Mr. Zeldin.
Forgot about the fact of cleaning up
I have to think, Mr. Zeldin, I think, Mr. Zeldin, if your children were drinking water, if your children were drinking water in Santa Ana, Mr. Zeldin, maybe you wouldn't be so cavalier about whether there was lead in their water. Maybe you would give a damn instead of coming in here and suggesting that any grant that takes lead out of the water must be waste, fraud, or abuse because you need the money for a tax cut for rich people because you're totally beholden to the oil industry. You could give a rat's ass about how much cancer your agency causes.
Yeah, all of this is completely embarrassing, but believe me, it gets worse. That's right, the moment you've been waiting for, as MAGA has torched Donald Trump all over this. It all started when Donald Trump met with the president of South Africa. They had a pretty heated exchange, they clashed quite frequently, and then Trump played a video supposedly proving the white genocide.
The president was then asked what it would take to convince him there was no white genocide. Ramaphosa jumping in.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends.
Then, in an unprecedented move, President Trump directed an aide to play a video for the visiting president.
Excuse me, turn the lights down. Turn the lights down.
Showing South African opposition leaders calling for violence against white farmers and alleged burial sites.
I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But, okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's weird.
So not only was this weird and unprecedented, part of the video that Trump showed was actually misleading. Trump played this clip and he claimed that these white crosses were burial sites for thousands of white farmers. However, and I know Republicans, facts are scary, this video actually shows a 2020 demonstration bringing attention to the issue of violence against farmers of all races in South Africa. Rather than burial sites as Trump claimed, the video shows a demonstration following the August 2020 murder of 2 farmers who had been killed during a robbery. The crosses along the road were meant to memorialize and draw attention to the many farmers who've been killed over the years. There is an issue with South African farmers being killed, however, there's no real evidence supporting the claims of a white genocide. And it was because of this very video and this unprecedented moment that MAGA is now tearing into Trump. In fact, a large MAGA host recently publicly condemned Donald Trump for this.
Yeah, I tell you what, and we're not showing the video there, but when he dimmed the lights, I mean, might as well just brought some popcorn in. I mean, he dimmed the lights and said, hey, let's play this video. I mean, you just don't see this. You never see this. When are they ever dimming the lights in the Oval Office to play a video and you know, roll in the VCR, if you will, or whatever they do? It's unbelievable. So it was just really interesting to see. By the way, I just want to say, we got to go, Jennifer, but just to quickly tell you on this, I think what Trump did to him was he totally, oh, here's the video. See, they dim the lights and they roll in like this VCR from 1984 or whatever they were doing. It was hilarious. But just so you know my take on this, because I need to get this off my chest. It's really not a question. Sorry, I'm on a soapbox. But what Trump did to this guy, I mean, he sandbagged him. I mean, Trump would be really ticked off if someone did this to Trump. If Trump went to a head of state, oh, you know, Trump would be like, that wasn't very nice. And I'm sorry, I know this is Trump's style. I get it. I actually thought it was pretty interesting, and I'm glad he's different. He's outside the box. But he sandbagged a guy in front of the world to see and brought in the VCR, so to speak. I didn't like it. I didn't think that was the right way to handle it because, once again, if the shoe were on the other foot, you know, Trump would be complaining big time if a world leader did that to him. I'm just saying, and we should be honest about it. So anyhow, that's it. I'm on my soapbox. All right. Oh, Jennifer, thanks.
And it gets worse because even Fox News had some criticism.
We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that?
Trump forcing Ramaphosa to sit through a video purporting to substantiate the disputed genocide claims. A source with knowledge of the video's origins tells Fox it is political propaganda created by one of Ramaphosa's opponents, Julius Malema.
These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers.
According to the Washington Post, the crosses shown are not graves, but part of a protest years ago against violence to white landowners, which South African leaders say is exaggerated.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people.
However, despite the mounting criticism and the provable falsehoods, Trump's administration continues to double down on these asinine claims.
The president showed a video that he said showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that that was not true and that the video wasn't showing that. So I wonder, why did the president choose to show that? It's not true that the video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that that video showed the crosses that represent
what the president claimed.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin.
The president
and those crosses are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
I'm disputing the fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders to show?
Yamiche, what's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact, the Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument, and the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, not just by that video and the physical evidence that everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated, and that's a ridiculous line of questioning. John, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so long story short, Donald Trump, if you're losing the support of even your own voters, you know you've seriously screwed up. I think it might be time to take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror rather than pointing the fingers and blaming everyone else. All you're doing is turning America into a laughingstock.